Question 27, the last question, we're asked to find the area of a parallelogram. And normally, this is quite easy. You find the length and you times it by the perpendicular height. So you might have looked at this and thought, wow, I just need to find the height. And you'll soon realise that's a pretty difficult thing to do. Then you might think, well, I just need to find the area of a triangle and then double it because it's just two triangles. But then again, you also need the perpendicular height, which cancels that idea out. Now, there's another rule for finding the area of a triangle, which is this, half AB sine C. And that's for a triangle. That's written on page 2 if you can't remember it. Now, I need to explain to you what this actually means. If you have a triangle with, say, angle C there, the A and the B are referring to the two sides that make that angle. So if I move the angle to, say, here, there's my A and my B. So let's go to this one. I have this angle, so these two sides make that angle. So if I have this side here, then I can use these two in the formula and I'll get the area, and then I can simply double it. So let's have a look at that. Right, so I can see that this is a non-right angle triangle and I'm asked to find a length. So I'm going to use the sine rule or the cosine rule. Now, I've got three sides and one angle, so it should be the cosine rule. But to find that side, I know I need that angle. So I can't use the cosine rule. So what I'm actually going to need to do is find one of these angles here. Now, I've got these two, they're a matching pair. And because I've got this one, yes, using the sine rule, I can find this. So I'm going to just scribble that out for a minute and put that there. So I'm going to find this angle using the sine rule. So I'm going to write sine of D, this is D here, over little d, is the sine of A, because that's the other angle I have, over little a, and pop the numbers in. So I don't know that's what I'm trying to find, but I know D is 9, this being D and this being little a. And I know A is 100, so I've got the sine of 100 over A, which I know is 11. So I know the sine of X, sorry, you just couldn't see any of that, I do apologise, but that's what I've just said verbally. So the sine of X is everything on this side, but if I want to get rid of this divide by 9, I have to multiply by 9. And so I don't make any mistakes on my calculator, I'm just going to type that bit in, press equals, and times it by 9. So sine 100, divide by 11, oh, didn't press that right, sorry. And then I'm going to times all of that by 9. So I get sine of X to be 0.805, and it goes on and on and on. To find X inverse of sine, so shift sign of my answer. So I know X there is 53.68 blah 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 degrees. But I've just found out this one, and I wanted that one, because I wanted to use these two sides because I've got that angle. Or because now I've got that angle, I could still use it with these two sides, which is tad annoying. But actually, if I've got these two, I can find this one. So I'm going to call that Y. Because I've got these two, I know that these must add up to 180. So I'm going to say over here, I'm going to say Y, or if I want it to be proper, I'm going to actually do it nicely. I'm going to write angle ACD. So it's 180, take away my calculation here, my 53.68, and take away my 100 in the question. So I know that is 26.3 degrees, and it goes on. Now, my formula, I don't have to calculate that side in the end, because if I've got this angle, I can use these two sides. So you could go ahead and do that, but you're just creating lots of work for yourself. So I've now got this angle here with these two sides, so I'm ready to use this formula. So I'll write the formula again, just so you can see it. So it's half times A and B, which is the side, so it's 11 and 9, times the sine of the angle I have just worked out. So it's sine of 26.3, but that goes on and on and on. Please don't do what I've done here. If you write in here, it will never ever be seen. So the person marking my test would only see half of a 2 there. Make sure you write in the actual space provided. Now to type this in, I'm not going to lose any accuracy. I'm not going to use this as 26.3. I've actually got this on my calculator now. And I want the sine of that angle. So I'm going to press sine of my answer. And that's that bit done. So I've actually just worked out this bit here. So I'm going to just do this backwards. I'm going to times it by 9, times it by 11, and times it by a half. I'm just typing in 0.5. And I get 21.945. And again, that goes on for a long time. But that's the area of one triangle. So I'm going to times that by 2 to obviously represent both. So I'm doubling that, which is 43.8904. So now let's check to see how they want me writing the answer. 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3. That rounds up, so this becomes a 9. So it's 43.9 centimeters squared for all of the 5 marks.